Please join me in welcoming him, Chancellor Wilcox.
Thanks, Jim. It's truly a pleasure to be here. You heard, just like you, I'm brand new. I'm learning where the buildings are. I'm learning what the street names are. I'm learning along with you. It's great to be here. Listening to that, I can tell you when I sat where you are as a first-year student many years ago, I had no idea that I do many of those things, maybe any of those things. And that's a reminder of the opportunities ahead of you. Now, you're at a transition point. Last year, many of you were in high school. Now you're in college. And I thought I'd talk a little bit about some of the differences. In high school, of course, most of you had someone else to make sure you went to bed and make sure you got up. Someone who made sure that there was food that they bought and put in the fridge. Someone who made sure that the clothes were washed. Now, that's you. But when you went to school and you sat down and you opened the book, pretty much everyone believed what was in the book was true. And you had to learn what was in the book. Starting today, at the University of California, Riverside, when you open the book, we all believe that parts of it probably aren't true anymore. Those of you in biology, chemistry, physics, sociology, psychology, down the line, those books were written by somebody very, very smart about 2 or 3 years ago, even if it's a brand new book, because it took a couple of years to get it printed, get it sent out to bookstores and get you to buy it. And in that time, the world has changed. People have learned new things, and we've actually replaced some of the facts with what was there before. And even in fields like philosophy, where there isn't research going on in the laboratory, there are people constantly challenging the ideas in the book. And so your instructors, starting this week, will start to talk about parts of the book that still seem to be true and still seem to be valid in the eyes of them and their peers. But also the parts of the book that we don't think are quite right anymore. Or the parts of the book where there is an agreement among the learned people of the world on what really is the right interpretation of that aspect of medieval history, or that aspect of societal change. That's one of the key differences from high school, where we believed everything that was in the book, to a university, where we challenge everything that's in the book. Another key difference is in high school, there was a leader. The teacher led the class. And we all, as students, listened closely and tried to learn what we needed to learn so we could do well on the exam. Not so at a university. At a university, we learn together. We all have to lead. You will, in this fall quarter, be in classes where you'll be asked to be part of a group, a team, and a lab partner, various ways of working with your colleagues and setting your own direction, not simply following that of the teacher. You become increasingly responsible for your learning. And that means you need to be responsible for learning for yourself and the learning for your colleagues. You need to make sure that you challenge their ideas when you think they need to be challenged, that you support their ideas when you think they're the right ideas, but that you always respect their ideas, that you respect them as partners in this learning endeavor, and respect them as people. Another key difference between here and high school is for many of us, we went to high schools where the students looked a lot like us in one way or another. Here at the University of California, Riverside, we work very hard to make sure we've got a place for everyone. Those who look like me, not even necessarily as old, but look like me, and those who don't look like me. Those who look like you and those who don't look like you. So that the learning won't all be in the classroom with your study partners and with your instructors. The learning will also be in the residence hall room. The learning will also be on the lawn. The learning will also be at the coffee shop, where you get to learn not just about the subjects in the textbooks, and the subjects and the online resources. But you get to learn about how other people see those subjects, what do people think about those ideas, why people think the way they do, even though it's very different from the way you've ever thought about things. And that may be as important as anything, because in 4 years, I expect to see you at commencement. And I know that you will be a different person. You will have learned a different sense of responsibility for yourself, in terms of washing your own clothes, making sure you get up on time, and making sure you don't miss the exams. But I believe very much that you'll be a different person in how you see the world. Partly because you'll have gained knowledge that you can only find at a university as deep and as credible as the University of California, Riverside. But also you'll be a different person because you'll have taken time to think about the world in the way others see it, in the way learned faculty members see it, because they've studied the topic their whole lives, in the way your friends see it, because they grew up in a different town, in a different part of the world, with a different family, and in the way those who grew up very close to you now see it, because they too have changed during these 4 years at university. That's the opportunity, and that's why these 4 years are so important and so different from high school, because it really is about what you make it, and I know you hear that all the time, but there's a set of opportunities here that you've really never seen before. There are more student organizations than I could list at the university. There are more classes and majors than I could list at this university. That means you're going to have to work hard yourself to find the right ones for you. And working hard means, first of all, exploring them all. Spending time looking at the list of student activities. Finding the one that's right for you, finding the 2 that are right for you, finding the 3 or 4 that are right for you. You can always change. Spending time thinking about the courses that you take, not just because of when they meet during the day, so I can get Friday afternoons off, but instead thinking about what differences they would make in your life. Will I get a chance to learn about something I didn't even know about before, know anything about before, and now I can actually study it? That's an opportunity that we simply didn't have in high school, that you now have at the university. So, I'm here today to, number one, welcome you, because I'm a first year too, just like you. We're tight. Number 2, thank you for coming, because you now are my partners in learning about the university, but also learning all the facts that this university has at its disposal. And most importantly, to challenge you, to make sure that these 4 years are everything they can be. I wish very much I could talk to each of you every day and see how it's going. I can't. Instead, I have to trust you to go and explore as broadly as you can, to make sure not only that your experience is great, but the person sitting beside you has the same great experience, and that the university benefits as a result. It's great to be here. I'm afraid I have to run to another convocation, or I'd stay and applaud at the end with you. But I'm excited to see you, excited to be here, and look forward to seeing you in 4 years at commencement. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Chancellor Wilcox. Before he leaves, can you please give